Latest details surrounding a mass shooting at an Ivy League school.
We are happy that our kids are okay and they're safe, but we also it's like our hearts are sinking.
And back on the West Coast, a clear look at the devastating flooding in Washington and the growing response.
When she was in the flood, it was till about here. They had to walk through water.
And later, how one small Washington community is leaning on itself to recover after back-to-back years with natural disasters.
If we waited around for resources to come help us, we would be burned down. We would have no road.
There has been a mass shooting at Brown University in Providence, Rhode Island. Tonight, the city of Providence has released videos of the possible suspect. You can see that they're wearing dark clothing, walking on the sidewalk. 2 people have died and at least 9 others were hurt. That number going up after one person discovered they were hit by bullet fragments. Tonight, the mayor also confirmed there is no suspect in custody.
We've got over 400 officers on the ground right now. Every minute matters. We know every minute matters. And other than the people you see standing behind you, everyone else right now is out on the streets working hard to bring this individual to justice and to bring some confidence and safety and security to our residents.
A shelter in place is still in effect for the university and surrounding area as police continue their investigation. We'll keep you updated with any developments on this mass shooting. You can also get the latest through our website, KGW.com, or watch us anytime on our free KGW Plus streaming app. Well, turning to our weather here locally and taking a look out over the Columbia River from our Vancouver camera there, we kicked off our weekend with a dry day that even included a few peaks of sunshine throughout the metro. But it's not going to be long before that rain returns. Corey Johnson is joining us now with more. Corey?
That's exactly right, John. It was a beautiful day on our Saturday. Very dry, very mild, and that sunshine that you mentioned was also great to see. We are going to expect to see that rain increase, though, as we get throughout tomorrow and this upcoming week, steadily increasing. But we'll get to that in a second. This is our Rose City camera cloud cover overhead. 44 degrees for us right now. That's our low tonight. Over in Salem, also a foggy night at the Capitol, 41 degrees, so sitting chillier down south. And then our Oregon Zoo camera, beautiful lights right there. You can see people still enjoying their time at the zoo this evening, 44 degrees as well. Our temperatures right now sitting in the mid 40s across many areas, 41 in Pendleton, 39 in Baker City, 45 in Longview Council, and 46 near the coast in Astoria. So taking a look at tomorrow, the rain is going to be rather light for many areas. Starting off Sunday morning, this is around 5. You can see that band hits the coast, but it's very light rain, sprinkles throughout much of the day. And then by 10, you can see it really does start to dissipate. And so it's not very heavy on our Sunday in the way of rain. But if you notice off the coast, this is the system that's going to create more significant rain for us on our Monday. We'll break down the timing of all that coming up.
All right, Corey, thank you. We'll see you soon.
I think what we have seen this week is just a real amazing amount of people and agencies who've come out to work together side by side. Doesn't matter political persuasion, region, wherever.
As we get a better look at the devastation across Washington state, we're also learning more about the massive recovery efforts that are underway. That's after several towns were flooded following extreme rain and ahead of another atmospheric river heading our way. Our Jake Holter reports on response efforts from the Red Cross.
We had one lady just this morning mentioning that when she was in the flood, it was till about here. They had to walk through water.
Homes submerged under as much as 8 feet of water in Burlington, and the National Guard rescuing 9 people so far after the atmospheric river brought devastating flooding to western Washington. Red Cross volunteer Rebecca Davenport got the call Wednesday morning to head up to the affected area and supervise the shelter. She started in Everett, then Bellingham, and now she's in Burlington, which sits between those two cities along I-5.
We have nurses here on board. We have mental health on board. It's here at the shelter. It's basically a wraparound service.
Davenport says her shelter, a local church, hit capacity Wednesday and Thursday night with 150 people taking refuge. The Red Cross opened another shelter across the street to deal with the demand. Davenport was previously deployed to the Texas floods, and she says the scene is pretty similar in Washington.
The flooding is almost as bad from the area and from the damage as I have seen actually in Texas. We don't have the casualty rate here, luckily not. But the water damage and the area being flooded is a pretty large area.
And with another atmospheric river forecasted to hit early next week, Davenport is concerned.
My worries is we are already flooded and the ground is saturated and the rivers are full. What this is going to do.
Jake Holter, KGW News.
Also today, rescue teams took elected leaders on tours in Monroe and Mount Vernon as crews assess damage and prepare for what's next. They're shifting from emergency rescues to damage assessment and recovery after days of historic flooding. Snohomish rescue teams saved 42 people from raging torrents, mostly drivers who tried to drive across flooded roadways. The next atmospheric river is expected to bring less flood risk but stronger winds, with gusts of at least 45 miles an hour.
We still have Skagitonians who can't go back to their homes this morning. It's tempered by the fact that we are not in the clear yet. There's more rain on the way.
With reservoirs already full, the National Weather Service says it won't take much rain to renew those flooding risks. Well, this week, the Snoqualmie River crested above 60 feet, turning the valley into a lake, and people in Carnation are feeling the impacts. Madeline Carter spoke to two strawberry farmers whose properties were feet underwater, damaging equipment worth thousands of dollars.
In Carnation,
it's devastating.
the water has gone down, but just days ago,
We basically became an island. And so there's no way in or out of the city of Carnation.
this family-owned strawberry farm off State Route 203 was submerged.
So the water got up pretty high, like I said, about 5 feet. So got up about here, so you could just see the tops of these trees from this whole area being a giant lake.
The Snoqualmie River rushed in from the west, causing SR 203 to practically disappear. Gary Remlinger says he hasn't experienced anything like it in his 6 decades of farming.
I'm 80 years old and been here farming 60 years, and this is the biggest flood I've ever seen.
He and his grandson's strawberry crops were soaked, but somehow survived. 5 minutes down the road, their main Remlinger Farms location was also spared. But Gary says the feet of water that flooded this farm ruined equipment worth thousands.
We left a forklift out here we just forgot about, and it got damaged.
While we were there,
I just happened to be driving by and saw some of our farmers out here.
the mayor of Carnation stopped to check on Gary and his grandson.
We really worry about after the floods right now too, with all the water saturation, what's going to happen with trees and power lines and power poles as they come down.
In the aftermath,
12 men have been working very long days, and we've cleaned up most of this place. It looks a lot better than it did.
Mother Nature will do what it wants to do. We have to live with it best we can. Well, you do the best you can. That's all you can do.
these farmers are doing the best they can.
Nonprofits are stepping up to help farms left underwater, but the city's mayor says restaurants and businesses could use more support, especially in the days leading up to Christmas. Well, we have new video today that shows the damage caused by a massive landslide that shut down a stretch of Highway 229 near Siletz. You can see debris from one of those damaged homes. The landslide affected at least 5 homes between Kernville and Siletz. The Lincoln County Sheriff's Office says 3 of those homes are significantly damaged. Everyone was able to make it out safe, and the Red Cross is helping at least 2 homeowners. The slide started on property owned by the lumber company Weyerhaeuser and moved all the way down to the Siletz River. ODOT does not have a timeline on when the landslide will be cleared. New tonight, a mess on Highway 26 earlier this evening after a crash involving multiple cars. It caused one vehicle to roll over and come to a rest on top of another car. Well, this was on the westbound lanes near the Oregon Zoo exit. Fortunately, everyone was able to get away from the crash safely and without injury. The highway fully reopened just before 9:30 tonight. And in Rainier, Oregon, deputies arrested a man who allegedly robbed a convenience store with a weapon. The Columbia County Sheriff's Office was told that the suspect, Christopher Mann, held a knife to a worker's neck at the Rainier Deli and Mart. He demanded money and valuables before leaving. Deputies, with the help of a canine and Longview police, eventually found Mann and arrested him on multiple charges.